hello everyone. How is it going? So the craft room is obviously looking pretty bare right now, but we're in the middle of moving and packing, so yay for us. I finally am getting some headway, it looks like. So I'm just gonna wait and see if we can get some people popping in. It looks like we've got 3 showing. Hey Cece. Hey Jeanette. How are you ladies? I'm so excited. Yay. You guys, I am so excited for this break. From Ohio, I know, we're in Chicago right now, and it is so cold. I think yeah, we're at 7. You can see that. 7. No bueno. No fun. I'm excited to get to North Carolina where it's nice and warm. A little bit longer, guys. So, as you can tell, the craft room is looking a little empty and sparse, but we'll still continue to paint. I'm going to continue to paint until the beginning of March. So that first Monday in March, I will not be painting. And then the next week after, because that will be the week of the retreat. And I'll also be trying to get settled into the house. Or I shouldn't say the house, the rental, hopefully. One of the rentals fell through, but we have a couple others that we're working on. I know we've had snow and freezing too. It's awful, but it sounds like everywhere it's freezing. Hey Nancy. Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna ask you guys which one you want to paint. So I got the dollar store signs because we had discussed. So I've got the Lucky Pot of Gold or the Shamrock, and you guys can decide which one. These came from the dollar store. I'll also include afterwards what paints we used so that you guys can go back and get them if you want, or just remember to get different ranges of it. -3, I know we were at 7, but I don't know if that's completely accurate. Let me see. We'll refresh. Yep, it says 7, but feels like 12. Can you see that? That's where we're at. And it was fitting. Pot of Gold? Okay. I've got one for Pot of Gold. What are we thinking, guys? Shamrock, Pot of Gold. Hey, Rhea. How are you, honey? Oh, I know. It's just so cold. It's crazy. And Texas is getting snow. It's insane. I'm going to flip camera views, but I can still see your guys' comments, all of that, okay? So you guys, I got Haley's room, I get my youngest, I got all of her room packed up. Her clothes, I gave them 7 outfits. So we're going to be living out of suitcases. Oh, yay, Bradley. You didn't have to bring those all down, baby.
Oh, I just thought you needed them.
Just the Sorry, guys, the dogs.
I tried to keep
Okay, my Bradley was bringing me some extra water because we didn't know how much I had down here. Okay, so I'm seeing Pot of Gold is the one that's kind of winning. Okay, I'm going to move this Shamrock to the side. Now, you guys, just FYI with these, sorry, daughter. If you see these signs, they are very, very thin, like super thin, like paper thin. This is kind of almost the size that you could probably cut through a Cricut, to be honest. The only reason why it's looking thicker here is because it's leveled up, or it has 2 pieces on there. So just be really careful when you are painting these. If you are putting these in a sign, I would definitely, or in a wreath, I would definitely suggest that this be indoor use because it's going to warp and bend. But I thought this would be a great way to kind of show you guys and introduce you into painting. I'm going to go ahead and remove this. And then these little plastic things, you guys, you can take these off if you want to keep the string for them, the little hanger. You just see if you can see here. there's a little plastic piece. You just bend it down and it pushes right out. And then you've got your piece still. It's okay, honey. If they're still fighting, if it's Ronan that's fighting, it's okay, baby. Sorry. Hi, Ronan. Ronan, my older dog, just does not want to play with Miss Bradley. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use yellow for the pot of gold. I think we might do a little bit of shading, and I don't think I want the antique. I'm going to use Empire Gold for the pot. We're going to do a black pot. So you can see black right there. Kind of lining this up so that you guys can see this also. And I think Lucky might be cute if we did it in like electric lime with maybe with maybe some gecko. I think that would be really cute. So that's what we're gonna go with, okay guys? So because black covers everything, we're gonna wait to use black until the end. So if we get some goof ups on our Lucky, we can use the black and kind of go in and clean that up, okay? This, typically I wouldn't glue this down, but this is really stuck on there. I was seeing if I could maybe pick it up, but I'm afraid, oop, yeah, I'm gonna do damage if I try and pick it up. So what I would do is get an angle brush, and we're gonna work with a 1/8 angle brush. Let me get a palette. All right. We're gonna get the gecko here. Make sure I'm not losing you guys. My furnace just turned on, so sorry if it sounds like a jet engine is going off. And because this is such a light wood, I don't think that we'll need to do 2 coats. Now when I do my MDF, I really like to do 2 coat, or I like to do a white primer coat. So we'll probably have to do 2 coats with the paint, but we won't need to do the white primer coat like I typically do when you see me paint the MDF. You guys, I'm getting so excited. The retreat's just right around the corner, and I moved the week before the retreat, so I'm so excited for all these new things coming. And I'm excited to teach you guys tonight, once I get off, I think me and the hubby might go out and cut the signs for the retreat and get those cut tonight. I sent him out to clean up the garage because, guys, he has a tool problem. He has so many tools and he never puts them away. So, yeah, it's been fun. So you guys, I'm just kind of being a little bit careful, but not too much because, like I said, I know that we're going to have this as, we're going to put the black down underneath, and because it's raised just a little bit, we can be not as super careful, which makes it really nice for those of you that are beginner to know what to do. It really gives you kind of a template to already go with. So what's going on with you guys? I've been talking about my move. Hey Linda, how are you? And about what we're doing here. How about you guys? What's up? Besides freezing. I'm so over winter, and man, did that hedgehog get it right. Or groundhog. Why did I say hedgehog? I've been talking too much game talk with my girls. Okay, I'm going to hit this just with the heat gun real quick. And definitely make sure you got your first vaccination today. Good job, Linda. Congratulations. Now definitely you guys with these dollar store signs, I would be really careful with using the heat gun and make sure that you're using it on the low and move fast, okay? Alright, so I'm just smoothing this paint out here. And then like I said, once again, I am using that 1/8 angle brush. And the reason why I chose it is just because we have those smaller little spots like right here that we didn't want to get into. I just had some paint overage right there that I wanted to get because it was looking a little clumpy. You could probably use a smaller or a bigger brush. I'm just afraid that you would get a little bit more on the back. But like I said, we are using black, so it will probably cover up a lot of our imperfections that we are using, or that we are doing. That's one thing that is so nice about painting, is you can always hide your boo-boos. And if you can't hide it, you get a baby wipe. Always have baby wipes around, even if you're not a painter. If you're just a crafter, have baby wipes. Alright. So like I said, I did snag this sign from the dollar store. I thought it would be a great project to kind of get you guys excited about maybe adventuring out and trying painting for yourself. So we got the Lucky done. And like always, I always get too much paint. So I'm going to hurry and scoop the extra paint here. I'm going to move this over. I have my heater on. And my furnace, you guys, I'm sorry, it sounds so bad. It's going off. Okay, so that was Gecko Green that we used for the Lucky. I think what would be really fun is to do some polka dots. So I'm actually just going to use the lid. And this is Electric Lime that I'm using, one of my other really favorite greens. I'm going to get one of my bigger tip brushes and use the back of the brush. And all we're going to do is just make little circles, and we're going to kind of try and do the circles in a triangle pattern. So if you see right there, we kind of got off, it's okay. It looks good to have some of your dots not exactly on. It makes it look a little bit better. So we're going to go right here with another triangle. That one's going to be off, so maybe right there. That one will be off. We'll go right here. That one will be off. And then we'll get one right here. Maybe we'll do just a little corner one. So one right here. One right there. Right there, right there, so I'm just making little circles with the back of my brush. Hey Teresa, how are you, honey? Sorry to have to get off of your live. Brian was needing help with me. He was able to get off of his business call, and so in between breaks, he helped me cut the wood so that we can cut it for the retreat. So I get my MDF now in really big sheets through my lumber yard, and so we have to cut them down. Otherwise, if we had them cut them, oh my gosh, they'd charge me a fortune to cut them. So then it would make it not worth it. So we actually end up cutting the sheets down. And I bought lots of them because I don't want to be without a lumber yard for a little bit. So I wanted to kind of be able to do some research on lumber yards when we get to North Carolina. So that dot would be off. This one would be right here. And then if you can see, there's a triangle here, so we'll go right there. And then we've got our cute little Lucky with the polka dots done. And that was only using that back of the bunny, or the back of the brush. Oh, how fun! I'm so excited. Kathy's bunny bums are the cutest. Okay, so the darker green was that electric lime green. And then I'm going to put this over by the fan. And I'm not going to put the paint away so that I can go back in and write out in the comments what supplies we used for you guys, what colors and everything else. Most of this I believe you can find at Joann's, all of the paint. If not, Hobby Lobby would have it. And Target also carries Delta Ceramco, or you can just find some apple barrel paint. I don't love apple barrel paint. I feel like sometimes you have to do a lot of coats with it. But if you're just trying to test out what the water is, if you really like it, definitely Target does sell these for 99 cents, the Ceramcoat. So it's about 50 cents more than the apple barrel. And then Joann sells them. You can sometimes get their paint for $1 each, or it's like $1.30 is their regular price. But they usually once a month have their paint on sale of like I think it's like buy 5 for 5 or 10 for 5 or something like that. So just FYI. I'm going to go a little bit crazy and we're going to get a bigger brush. This is a 3/4 angle brush that we're going to use for the pot of gold. And this pot of gold is nice because it kind of gives you a free little stencil. You can see because there's that little lip there. So all we're going to do is just paint this real quick here. And you know what? I was thinking we'd go a little more detailed, but I'm actually thinking it'd be really cute to just add some gold glitter to the top. What do you guys think? Okay, I'm going to use the heat gun for just a second. And get one more coat down of the yellow. Okay, one more coat of yellow here. Should do it. Because I told you guys I would go pretty basic, so I don't want to get too crazy for you guys. So I think if we do glitter, you guys will really like it, and it will keep us on a basic level. Okay, so we've got that so far. I'm really loving how that turned out. So this was just yellow, just plain old yellow. Alright, so let me scoop that back in there. And then I'm not going to use the Empire Gold, so I'm just going to put that back real quick. Okay, now for black. Okay, I'm going to still use that 3/8 angle brush. And we're going to basically get as much as we can painted black, and then we'll go in with a smaller brush around the lucky. And you guys, I noticed that Dollar Tree had some brushes that were actually, they didn't look real bad. So you might want to try those out. In their Crafter Square, I believe is what they're calling it. Alright, so we'll just paint this. I'm going to be a little bit gentle around this edge here. We don't want little drops on our yellow. So I'm just loading the brush. Kind of going nice and smooth here. And we'll see if we need to do an extra coat of black where we don't have a primer underneath, or we may be able to just go with a one and done. So I'm barely letting my brush touch the edge, like the tip of my brush. This is why I really like those angle brushes. And I'm also keeping my brush at kind of an angle, and that helps a little bit too. And then we're just kind of pulling the paint and then pulling it back. And that's going to smooth it and still keep a nice clean edge for us. And then I did notice on this side, now that I'm painting it, there's a little bit of the gap, not on this side, but on this side there is. So I'm going to just paint over so we don't notice the gap as much. So it must have been when they glued it. And because this was so thin, I wasn't painting the edges. But you definitely could if you wanted to do so. Alright, so now I'm just going to smooth, load a little bit more, and get going a little bit crazy. Okay, I'm just going to get right above this edge here with where our lucky is placed. Yep, I shouldn't have done that. I've got a little bit of a goof, but it's not too bad. So I'm going to leave it. Definitely tell that this wood has not been primed because it is sucking in the black for sure. So it is nice to definitely do a primer. Okay. And you guys, I think the one coat is actually doing pretty well. So I don't think we'll need to do a second coat on this. I might actually be able to do two for you guys tonight. We'll see where we go. Okay. Oops, I got a little bit crazy with my brush. It's alright, we'll do a little detail line around that and I'll hide that. Got the K right there. So just smooth strokes. Get some more black here. This time I wasn't heavy-handed. Woo woo. Okay. Now hold my finger right in the middle here so I can just get this edge here. Get nice smooth coats without this line jumping. I do have to thank Teresa for giving me the idea to get some dollar store signs. She suggested we get some dollar store signs for learning Cricut and being able to put some cute stuff on Cricut and paint these up too. So thank you, Teresa, for the suggestion. Okay guys, I'm just smoothing out the paint. Alright, I'm going to take that brush, put it away, and I'm actually going to go, I'm going to use a number 4 Phillips brush. It's kind of a round head brush. It's kind of square. And we're just going to get in between right here. This is why I wanted to switch brushes. I know you guys always hear me say I hate switching brushes, but for this we definitely needed to. Alright. And we'll just push in there. So what I'm doing is basically using my brush and kind of pushing it, kind of jabbing it in to the corners where we need it, and then pulling and smoothing out the rest of the paint. Same thing here. Ooh, I almost got black on my hands. Or I did. Nope. Alright. Okay. Sorry, I know my bun. Anytime. Did I do any sanding? No, this sign actually came pretty good. The dollar store sign, it came pretty good. I know some of them are pretty rough. I did kind of go through and was a little bit more picky. If you did need to do it, I would do definitely a fine grit sandpaper. Remember that sandpaper, the higher the number, the better. Or the smaller the number, the better. I can't remember. Sorry. My brain just went on me. And I don't have any sandpaper. I think it's 500 grit would probably be really good for it. So yeah, the bigger the number, the lighter the sandpaper, I think is how that goes. I might be getting that mixed up. My brain does not want to think today, guys. Okay. It always confuses me. Okay, so we're just smoothing that out. So this is going to be definitely where you're going to be taking a little bit more time on your project, but it's not that big of a deal, I promise. Just take your time, use a small brush. If you wanted to use even smaller than this, do so. Whatever is going to make you feel more comfortable. Okay, now this is going to be your little tricky spot, so if you can see it, I'm just kind of keeping the brush, kind of pushing it in and pulling back. I'll do it on this side one more time. So we're going to keep it not at the corner, and then we're going to push it into the corner and then bring back. If you go straight to the corner, you're gonna end up gunking up and getting too much paint. And then I see right here, so same thing. You noticed I started out and then pushed the brush in. Same here, right here. We're gonna push it in, bring that out. I'm gonna try and work on getting a better view for you guys so you can see even more, maybe an over the shoulder view, so you can see a little bit better of what the heck I'm doing. All right, just getting that C there. Notice we've got a little bit of the K popping through there, smoothing out the paint. We've got a little spot right here. There we go. And you could really get even a detail brush and get those little edges too. I think we're good. Okay. Just like so here. Oh, there goes my furnace again. It has been going pretty much all day long. It's so cold. Got a little goof there, but that's okay. Look at that with the detail line, you'll never know it was there. Okay. So those of you that joined maybe a little bit later, just an FYI for you guys, that I would definitely keep this sign for indoor use. I would not use this for outdoor. The reason why is it's gonna warp like crazy if it goes outside. It will probably pill up. 1/8 is a really, in any type of wood, which is what I'm assuming this size is, 1/8 is just too thin really to be used outside. It's definitely something great to learn off of, and that's why I'm doing these dollar store signs for you guys, is to kind of give you that, this is, you know, how we're going to learn and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully get you guys maybe excited to try it. Hi Johnny, how are you, sweetie? Thanks, Carol. Oh, you're fine. Thank you, Jeanette. Yeah, my brain gone. Okay, so now we've got all of that done. I think I'm actually going to, I lied, I'm going to do a little bit of shading, but not a ton. What we're gonna do is we're gonna shade this pot lip with just a little bit of gray. So I'm gonna use my drizzle gray. Grab one of my plates over here. This isn't too bad, I promise. Okay, so drizzle gray. I'll get some of the black here. We'll go back to using that 1/8 angle brush. Johnny, I believe I said hi, but if I didn't, I'm sorry. Let me grab just a little bit of black here. Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do is get the tip with the gray, a little bit on the black. We're gonna kind of move it together, just like so. And then what we're gonna do is just kind of create a nice, grab a little bit of water here, sorry. So we're gonna kind of dilute down our water just a little, and that is going to give us a nice little lift for our pot of gold. And it kind of just gives us that nice detail. A little bit of shading, but not a scary amount, okay? Now you could do this with just doing a white line if you were scared of the shading part of it. You could also just get some white and black and add up for the gray if you didn't have the gray that you wanted. Okay, let me add just a little more water here. Add some more water, get some lighter gray, some black on the back, kind of move that together like so. I make it look easy. I have been painting for a while, so it does kind of come natural, but I promise you, it really does become really easy. The more you do it, the more you let yourself be free with it and not hold yourself to perfection. It really makes it fun. And you guys, we could have done really crazy too. I could have painted this pot of gold green if we wanted, and did some and then did polka dots. That would have been really cute to do. And then did the lucky all black. But I was trying to keep it pretty basic for you guys. Let's do a little bit more black, go back and forth. And how you know if you need water is if you see that little distressing where you see your paint kind of not being so smooth. That's how you know that you'll need a little bit more. I'm just gonna kind of go around the pot here, its little legs. Johnny, did you get your package yet? Oh my gosh, 13 for Louisiana? Ooh, that is cold for you guys. I was seeing that somebody was saying that like in Colorado, they were having like -13. Montana was really bad too, from what I understood. It was super cold there. I always try and think of like colder places so then it makes me feel better. Sorry if you guys live there. Okay, you get this handle. So see how we're kind of getting that, see if I can show you, that brush stroke a little bit. It's a little more than what I'm wanting. I'm kind of wanting it nice and smooth. So I'm just going to take just a little bit of water on my brush, and then it makes it nice and smooth. Grab just a little bit of water. And that kind of just does the trick. So you can see now how to smooth that out. And then we'll take this and go back over it to give us a nice edge. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, just that little bit of ombreing and shading, how much more dimension it gives and really makes that pot of gold stick out and pop. Gives us a little bit more. Oh, I understand. Well, I promise you it is on its way. Okay. I'm going to still stick with the black, but I'm going to go with a little bit lighter of a liner brush. And I'm actually going to get just a little bit of water on what I already have here. And when I'm doing my detail work, I like to dilute my paint down just a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier for your brush to do detailing work. So I'm using a 2/0 liner brush, or other people will call it a detail brush. Same thing. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a ziggy, because you guys know that I love doing those. It's kind of my thing that I do. I'm just kind of letting my brush touch, but not pushing real hard with it either. So being a little bit light-handed with it. That's all I'm going to do with this, because we're going to fill this with gold glitter. So I'm not going to do too much there. We're going to go down to the Lucky. And then remember where I told you guys we had a little bit of boo-boos where we hit some black on it? We're going to just add the little zigzags. Or if you guys didn't want to do zigzags like me, you can add cute little dots or a little slash or something like that. And that will really make it pop too. Whew. Okay. So I'm just kind of outlining this just a little bit. And even where you did the boo-boos, it really will hide it when you're doing those outlining. And then I don't get my outline straight to the edge. I just kind of almost give like a stencil to it. I think it makes it add just a little more dimension, and on top of that, you don't have to be such a perfectionist with it. Because like I said, I used to be so concerned all the time about trying to make sure that everything was just so perfect, and I get so frustrated with my painting, and everybody else is like, oh, it's so cute, and I'm like, no, can't you see I messed up right here and right here? Nobody can see it, just you. I promise. And sometimes the funnest imperfections and what you do to fix it end up being like your favorite thing that you did. I did not do anything to prep this wood from the Dollar Tree. No, I did not. Now the other wood, like if you're doing your own templates or buying from someone, you may need to do a primer on it. I suggest always doing a primer if you're buying one of mine. Mine come from, mine are MDF, and it just helps bring out the color a little bit better. But if you can see, this is pretty light. So it's really light. I did kind of go through and made sure to pick ones that were nice and smooth. So I didn't need to do sanding, but you may need to do a little bit of sanding on yours. But like I said, just use a fine grit. And Jeanette, thank you. Make sure that you get a high grit sandpaper. So low grit, but high number. So like 500 or higher. Hey Linda, how are you? Nope, the only prep that I did is I took off the little hanger. Let's see, where did I put? So this one, if you can see, this is the other one that I had. I just took this little hanger, I didn't even cut it, I just pushed it. There's a little plastic piece right here, you push it down and it lines up with the rope, and you just push it right on through, and it pops out. Okay, quick thing, we're gonna add some white. This is a nice highlight color that we're doing. We're gonna go back with that spotter brush, or liner brush, I'm sorry. It's a 2/0. I'm just going to hit a little bit with the words, with the lettering. I'm barely letting my brush touch. In some places it's not even touching at all. And this is just giving it a little bit more dimension and making it pop just a little bit more for us. Almost got my paint or my brush in black again. Gotta watch what I was doing. Okay. Little zag right there. Ziggy zag. And you guys remember we did goof up. I had goof ups right here, where my brush hit a little bit more, and now we would never know that that's where it was. All right, I'm gonna add a little zag right there. And if you can see, I'm not letting my brush touch all the way. It's just touching in little spots. Just giving a little bit of a highlight, nothing crazy. This would have been really cute too if we would have been able to pop this lucky off. We could have sanded it, maybe we could have tried too. And you could have made this a cauldron for Halloween and put little dots down and made it, you know, all bubbly. I think that would have been really cute too. Okay, so where our little pretend lip of the cauldron is, we're just kind of lightly going across there. And add a little zag right there. And maybe a little small one right there. Okay, the pot of gold, same thing. Alright, I'm going to throw this over by my heater for just a second, you guys, and let me grab my gold glitter. Don't make fun of my pink sweatpants. Remember, I've been packing all day. Okay, here is our gold glitter. And then, you guys, this one I believe I got from Walmart. It's the extra fine glitter. Michael sells it at Hobby Lobby, everywhere. I just like the extra fine. I think it makes it cuter. You guys, also, I get my bottles from Mod Podge from the dollar store as well. Let me grab my Mod out. Oh, this is a new bottle. Hold on. I'm almost out of this one, so I was trying to get the ones at the end there. Good ideas? Good. Thank you. I'm glad you like this. And then just cheap brush. I actually saw these at the dollar store, and I did pick me up some because I have loved this brush for doing my glitter, and I didn't know where I picked it up from, but it's been one of my favorites to do the Mod Podge with. All right, I may just tilt this there for a minute. Okay, Oh yeah, this is not gonna work. There we go. Now the bottle wants to let it come out. Okay, this should definitely be enough. So we're gonna just give a nice smooth coat, but at the same time, be generous and work fast so it doesn't dry. Okay, I'm gonna hold down here. I should have grabbed my sheet of paper that I forgot. It's okay, I'll grab it real quick. Let me grab that. Okay, we're just gonna sprinkle on the glitter. And I do very heavy hand of glitter, probably way more than what I need. Okay, that's all done. Now you're gonna be like, wait a minute, all my detail lines are gone. Remember what I've shown you guys before? Let me get this out of the way. I also like to fold my sheets before. Now this is just stencil paper, or you could use some parchment paper. Whatever you use, do not use wax paper. It holds onto your glitter. But I do fold it ahead of time. It makes it easier so that you can pour it in. And I lost my lid. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Let me pull this back. Okay. Get that out of the way. What I do, and you guys, I saw at my Dollar Tree in their Crafter Circle, they had the embossing tools. So they're just the little round tools. This is what I use a lot for my dotting, and also to pull our detail lines back. So I just lightly run this over where we did the glitter. And you can kind of already see where you did your detail lines with the glitter. But you can see now, with the camera it's a little bit hard, but you can see now where those detail lines came back, where you can see it. Now we could have done lots of circles and stuff like that, but I was afraid that I might get you guys a little bit scared. So I let it be a little bit. I did go ahead and did the shading, glitter and ribbon. Amen. And then if you guys wanted to, I did pack up all my ribbon, but I'm trying to think if I have anything. I don't. I mean, but you could do, we can kind of do this. So we can put the hanger back on. I would definitely spray this. This is the spray that I use, you guys. I use this spray for everything. It's the semi-gloss clear. I don't like full gloss. I sometimes feel that it can sometimes lay a little too lumpy. So the semi-gloss is my favorite. Always make sure that you get the non-yellowing. It says non-yellowing right here. UV resistant right here. Even though you're not going to be putting it outside, I'd still use it. If you got thicker signs, then definitely, but like I said, these dollar store signs, it's warping on me right now. It's not laying still. I'm afraid that your customer wouldn't be very happy after a couple of, maybe even just a couple of days of it hanging outside. So definitely leave these inside. But this is our way of being able to introduce us into painting and get ourselves excited to paint on a budget and let you know if you really want to paint. So this is why I'm doing these for you guys. And everything else. Let me flip the camera so you can get, oh, wrong view. So you can get the other look of it. So there it is. You can see, nice and cute. We could do even some gold splatters if you wanted to add it some more, but like I said, we were gonna try and do a little bit safer. No problem, Carol. I love giving tips. It's what I'm here for. So triple thick, or ultra cover, sorry. Krylon makes a triple thick one that's really good too. I can get these off of Amazon in a 6-pack that you can see right back there. So that's why I go with these. And then I also spray the backs of my signs. I just do a semi-flat black spray paint on the back of mine. But if you don't have to if you don't want to. So, and this one I kept pretty clean. Yay. Got a little bit of paint up there. But if I was going to sell this, I definitely spray the back of it because it makes it look a little bit nicer and more professional. And then I always put my logo sticker at the bottom. So there you go. Do you guys have any questions before I go? I thought we'd maybe get to the other one, but I'm pushing it an hour, so I'm going to let it go. Oh, you can get them at the 6-packs of Krylon. I didn't know that Walmart was selling Krylon still. I thought they were strictly Bristolium now. So that's good to know. I have to check that out. Yeah, I'm an Amazon girl. You should, Linda. And if you guys do try it, please show me. I want to see it so bad. And then next week, we'll do this one. We'll do the Shamrock for you guys. Thought you guys might like that. I thought maybe we could do it tonight, but I think we might be pushing it. For that one, I can tell you guys, I definitely will do the Gecko. I'll probably do the lime green for this one, and I will do I'll probably use the Jubilee green. So you guys can see those colors of green right there. And then I will do the daubers. I love these daubers, you guys, that I got from the dollar store. Love them. They are awesome. But I'll do the daubers, and we'll do some dots on this. Make it cute. Unless you guys want, I can paint this one tonight if you guys want. But I don't know where you're at, because I know we're at almost an hour. They were already gone? Oh no. I mean, you could definitely try painting on the back too. Teresa, what brand of paint? I like using the Delta Ceramcoat. Delta Ceramcoat, that's my favorite. For white and black, I will use Apple Barrel, whatever you can get. Like I said, I'm not against Apple Barrel, but I feel like you have to sometimes add a lot more coats because I feel like they water down their product. And for 50 cents more, usually 50 to 80 cents more, you get stuff that you only have to do maybe 1 or 2 coats at most. Where Apple Barrel, you could do easily 3 to 4 to get that same coverage. So just FYI. You can get these at Target, Hobby Lobby, and Joann's. And then I don't mind the Americana, the Deco Art Americana. This is just the one that I pulled. I would not be using red on Shamrocks. But if you found Deco Art Americana, this one's at Michael's, and all of the other ones besides Target, and I don't think Walmart carries it either. You could do that too. They have really good paint too. Not my favorite, but it's definitely my second favorite. Hope I answered everything for you guys. And then, like I said, I'm going to do the Shamrock next. This is the Shamrock that has the hearts on it. And then I also got the Happy Easter one as well. So if you guys are at the dollar store and you see those, grab this one and this one, and we'll get doing those, okay? Like I said, I'll do the Shamrock next just because it's getting closer to the holiday. So, all right, guys, mwah, loves. You guys are so welcome, and I will include the paint colors that I used for this one, and then I'll also tell you which ones I'm going to use for the shamrock. Okay guys, bye!